हैं बादा मस्त बादा आशा में अहमदियत चलता है दौर मीना ओ जाम अहमदियत.
Yeah. So now, guys, it's 6:30. Everything running to plan. So as you know, we were talking about becoming waqf zindagis, giving our life to the Jamaat, Murabbis, everything to do with serving the Jamaat. Inshallah, we'll try and capture that in today's show. As you know, we are very fortunate today to be able to have with us Murabbi Fatir Tahir. He's grinning now, but it really is a big honor for us to have him. And for any of you who don't know him, I'm sure you all do. You've seen him on the TV. You've heard his name flying around. He's even been to Walsall and served 1 month as the Murabbi during Waqf Farizi in Ramadan 3 years ago. But on a personal note as well, me and Fatir have literally been, since we were in our nappies together, been in the same school since nursery, all the way through primary school, secondary school, college as well. And then both of us made the decision to go to Jamia as well. So it's pretty much, he's probably had enough of me by now for over 25, 26 years. But Jazakallah Fatir for joining us. How are you today?
No, it's all right. Yeah, Jazakallah for having me. Alhamdulillah. It's a good entrance seeing Hamza, give them so many pearls of knowledge, mashallah. It's good to see everyone getting involved.
Yeah. This so Fatir, welcome to Khudam Night. This as we've talked offline as well, but just for everyone's benefit, Khudam Night is something we set up just over a year ago for the benefit of the Khudam around the Midlands and outside as well for anyone who wants to join. It's open to everyone really, but just trying to get everyone involved. We learned a few things with Friday sermon, Hazim Masimod's books and allegations as you heard from Hamza today, brilliant. And also we do a bit of news around the world, and we finish off with a Kahoots, a bit of quiz at the end as well, just make it a bit competitive. Because as you know, the boys in Midlands are quite competitive, especially when it comes to football. But Jazakallah Fatir. So today we're going to talk about you, about your life. MashaAllah, you're Murabbi.
Very exciting. I'll tell you that.
we'll let the people decide if it's exciting or not. But Fatir, can you just tell us, give us a little introduction to yourself, your father, your family, and a bit about where your childhood was.
Yeah, sure. So, lad, sorry for my camera's not too good. But yeah, so me and Hamaya, we were both born and bred in Islamabad, where Hazur is right now. And for everyone who doesn't know, before, obviously the Jalsa used to happen in Islamabad as well, and everyone living in Islamabad was a Waqf Zindagi. So someone who's given their life for the Jamaat. They weren't all necessarily Murabbis. It used to be like other people, all carpenters, people working in other Jamaati offices as well. So me and Mayo born and bred up there. Both our parents were missionaries as well. Went to school together, nursery, I think, secondary school, college, the lot. And yeah, we decided to faff around in second year college because we knew we were going to Jamia, which is not the right thing to do. But anyways, alhamdulillah, we got into Jamia. And yeah, 7 years there. And alhamdulillah, now I'm in Al-Hakam and Al-Islam. And I spent a month with a lot of the guys here. I see Hamza's here, Atar, Nasser was on. Yeah, so I did a month in Ahmad as well. Like Ahmad. And yeah, so we did a month in Walsall. That was good. That was fun. And then now I'm back to my hometown in Farnham. There, I was in London for a year. But yeah, that's the brief.
Talk about Islamabad, Fatir. Let's talk about our life there. For us, it's like a dream.
Islamabad was.
Yeah, for us, it's like a dream mode. We don't know what's going on outside, but we realized this afterwards, how blessed we were to be living amongst Waqf Zindagis and having a mosque, and our whole life revolves around.
I think a lot of it is we were actually, believe it or not, me and Mayor probably 20 years of our life, we were just living in a bubble because at that time Islamabad was basically cut off. The local shop was a mile away, which was the post office. And even leaving Islamabad, the uncles used to be like, you can't go out, you can't go anywhere. But obviously we used to sneak out, go to the local shops, and that was like the highlight of the week growing up. Apart from that, alhamdulillah, Islamabad, green space, we got to do loads of sports, messed around a lot, just sharate and stuff, knock down ginger was normal, these kind of things. But the good thing about Islamabad was that everyone was waqf zindagi. So even if as kids, Mayor would mess around, play sport all day long. But the sick thing was that at namaz time, because there was a mosque there, obviously, the Murabbiyan there or, whoever was there, they would call us. Like if we were playing footy in the field, they'll like shout at us and say, come to namaz. And then we'll go to namaz, obviously. So that the good thing, especially you guys in Walsall as well, is that you have a mosque close by. When you don't have a mosque, it's really difficult to, get into a habit of doing namaz regularly or even going to the mosque, which is a huge thing. So that was a good thing as well, alhamdulillah. But yeah, it was a good little world, wasn't it, Mayo? Like just playing sports all day long, and then just namaz 5 times a day.
So your dad specifically, he loves sports so much. We used to play volleyball with him all the time. But namaz was always the factor of where we need to stop and start. We would know namaz at this time, so we have to play as much as we can until that time. Sometimes even continue after namaz, come back and play. But
exactly.
Your dad in particular would be the one who would shout namaz ka time ho gaya, like all run from at the end of the big field, and we'll run to our houses, get ready for namaz and go to namaz. So like there was no real escape from namaz, which now we say alhamdulillah. But at that time you're like, come on, we're gonna finish the match. You have to quickly let's finish it.
Yeah,
quickly.
exactly.
But
and I think another thing was like so growing up when you work for zindagi, obviously work for zindagi, they don't do it for the money, right? So living up in Islamabad, our parents weren't rich, not in any means, right? But obviously the Jamaat takes care of you and stuff as well. But it was like you see the blessings that work for zindagis have. That obviously they have, a basic income, often lower than most people, but you see that like in our whole lives, everyone around us as well, like everyone was probably about 33 families, but we never felt that our parents are earning less, or because there's so many blessings in the amount of money which they get given by the Jamaat as well, that through our whole, in fact, remember Mayor, like people in school, they used to think that we're millionaires because we still live, Islamabad area is a very rich area. Yeah. People around the area is very, very affluent people, and houses that are very expensive. So that was another thing which is a huge blessings of Waqf as well, that even though your income may be low, but your children and stuff, you feel the blessing because our parents were Waqf Zindagi as well. So, that was a highlight for me as well.
Yeah, I think remember whenever we would talk about Islamabad to our school friends, we tell them, we have 5 horses, we have a basketball court, we have a swimming pool, we have all of these amazing things, 2 massive football pitches. So they think that you live in this amazing world, but in fact, our parents were humble people. They lived and served for the Jamaat. That's all they were doing. But we were just, alhamdulillah, very fortunate. And it's very different to the city. We didn't have shops. We didn't have that environment of just ordering something from online. We didn't have that at that time.
Literally, I remember it was like the first time we ever ordered something. It was like pizza, and that was when we were like 18, and that was when the delivery started to come into Islamabad, and we thought that was massive.
Yeah. So that's the kind of life we had, guys. I know it's quite different to the city life. You're so used to going out to the shop, buying milk just by foot, but we didn't have that. We had to like wait for our friends to grow up until they're 17, until they have cars, or we'd have to hitch a ride with some uncle to go to a shop and buy something for the family. So it's a very nice, I think a very nice environment, but very humbling. And when we look back now, I think we say alhamdulillah, because we were saved from a lot of things as well. And the fact that we all stayed together, and now, alhamdulillah, if you look at all of our group of friends now, many of us went to Jamia, many of us are serving the Jamaat in different ways. So I think those are the underlying benefits of living in such an area. But of
Yeah,
course,
and sorry, Bayer, just like also for like, I know there's a lot of guys who maybe they're not so sure about work, or some boys want to go to Jamia as well. And just like a take on that is like, people think it's really hard or it's a complete change of lifestyle. But yeah, it's not easy, obviously, but it's also very rewarding, and it's not a huge change of lifestyle. Like, obviously, your focus is serving the Jamaat, doing whatever duty you have. But along with that, you do everything else, which is normal as well, right? You play sports, you go out to eat, you do everything. But you also get this, deep satisfaction that you're doing something for the Jamaat of the Promised Messiah. A lot of us who have come to the UK as well is due to persecution back in Pakistan. So there's a deep satisfaction along with it as well.
yeah. So just touching on that, Fatir. So we made that decision. How early on did you really make the decision that you wanted to go to Jamia? Because I didn't have a clue what Jamia was until Mustansir, our neighbor, went, and he just disappeared one day, and he came back on one of the weekends. There's this place called Jamia where there's loads of guys that come together from different parts of the world, and that really attracted me.
Yeah.
But when was the point where you decided?
I think for me, I never even thought about Jamia my whole life until we had our first Mulaqat in 2003 when Hazur became Khalifa. And Hazur just said it. It was like, I don't know how old I was then. I think I was 8, 9. And Hazur like, "Tum muballigh ban jao." And that was it. So it's just basically my mind from then. I was like, I got no other choice. But it wasn't like I didn't want to. I didn't even know, I never even had it in my mind. But yeah, it was young age.
And so what? Like, okay, you've planned to go to Jamia. Hamza, we got accepted to go at the same time. I remember I was sitting in Mauritius. I was on holiday and I got the email.
Yeah.
Me and you got accepted into Jamia. It was a weird feeling. It was like, wow, this is actually real now. Because before, like, you haven't really experienced
I remember even before, you remember we were like, we didn't know if you were going to get it. We were going to get it in. It was like 50-50. You don't know at all. Yeah. And you just, it's like a relief. Oh, at least I've got it. But then the long 7 years then start.
So what? Give us a little insight. So Hamza, we're in Jamia now. What was your first feelings? What was something you can share with us that goes on within Jamia that people may not know about that can be shared here?
Jamia is a lot of banter in Jamia, because don't think about it. It's like a really long Devotee class, if you like. Everyone's been to Devotee classes, right? It's like a extended Devotee class. But the cool thing is that you're with a class. Everyone's like-minded. Everyone's an Ahmadi. You all got the same mission. You doing the learning together, and it's a really good atmosphere. Just there's a lot of jokes, a lot of sports. Of course, you're studying as well. You're praying. You're learning so much, and you kind of cut off because I think most people have probably seen Jamia at least, which is it's in Hazelmere near Islamabad. That's a really nice. There's football pitches, basketball court. There's a gym there. Amazing, like running routes all around Jamia. So you basically cut off from the world as well. But also, you can go to the shops and stuff during the day. But it's good. It's not so. I think a lot of people have got a misconception that it's really strict and like you have to study all day long, and there's like it's really really harsh. Like you don't get your phones, but you come back from the weekend, you have to hand in your phone. You don't have it the whole week, and that might sound crazy to some. But you just get used to it, and it's actually relieving. Like I bet people here have done like, you've decided to delete your Instagram for a while or Snapchat or something. And you're like, I'm more productive, more focused, I'm not wasting time late at night on Snapchat, whatever, checking out people's stories. And you realize that in Jamia, you don't need your phone. You literally don't need your phone. If something's urgent, you can call that person up, they'll call you. But it's liberating. So it's good. It's a good mahal. It's a good atmosphere.
Yeah, I think a lot of us go through that now. Like we think that we wish that if it wasn't just me, but everyone just put their phones away, and maybe we'll have more time for everyone else. But because no one else is doing it, you feel like maybe you have to use your phone. But we had this conversation before in previous Qadam nights about not using your phones. But that's what I was saying to them as well, that, you know, in Jama, no one has it. So you don't feel like you need it.
You literally don't need it. And we get on the weekend, so Saturday, Sunday, you know, you get to use, but then you're just like, you know what, I don't even need it. There's no incentive for it. You don't really, you get used to it. It's a good liberating feeling.
Do you think that helped us in our Jama? Do you think if everyone was given a phone, that our productivity levels would have dropped a lot? Or what do you think?
Man. We wasted so much time on Insta, on Snapchat, on whatever, Twitter. It's, you focus, you realize, you connect with people around you, your communication skills get better, you're better able to connect with others around you. You're not just on your screen all day long. And even for, this is not just something for Jama, I think it's something which everyone should actually do. And lots of studies are out as well that you should go for like social media fasts, where you just off your phone. You only look at your phone a couple of hours a day. You delete all your Instagram, these kind of things for a while. You know, like ideally you do it for longer periods, but it's just good for your mental health as well. So yeah, if we had our phones in Jama, it would have been chaos.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I really think that we had that time, you know, we were able to manage our time so much, and we didn't realize how much we were studying.
Yeah.
We're talking about banter, we're talking about everyone having fun, but at the same time, the amount we were studying was ridiculous. The things that we were going through, the different books and different from different religions, we were subconsciously doing all those things without even
But
thinking.
I think also, mate, it's also important to remember that it's not as hard as it sounds. It wasn't that difficult because we were all doing it together. So like you do group studies, and a lot of people think it's too hard, it's impossible, it's not for me. Lots of people came to Jamia, they didn't know, you know, people who didn't know Urdu at all, they didn't know Arabic at all. They learned afresh.
I think I was one of those.
Yeah, you didn't, you know, right? You haven't come from an Urdu background. Your parents aren't Urdu speaking, so yeah, you know, it's not that hard.
We had students from the Gambia, we had students from Belgium, from Norway, people who were born and bred in those countries. So even though some of them were Pakistanis, even though they didn't have that, you know, that common knowledge of how you write Urdu, how you read Urdu. So it's really for everyone. So everyone is capable of applying. It's just about this. It's more the dedication. If you dedicate, and then inshallah the rest of it, Allah. But talking about Jama, a lot of opportunities open up as well. A lot of opportunities to serve the Jamaat open up as well, even during Jama. And I know I have to touch up upon this, Fatir, but you were able to serve the Jamaat in different ways. And for you, it was more with MTA, more with helping with MTA. So how was that for you? Like, did you feel like you deserved to do it? Did you feel like you could do it, or would you just leave it to Allah and say?
No, I didn't have any special skill in it. It wasn't deserving. It's just sometimes, you know, I was asked to do it, of course. I didn't think myself worthy or that I could do it at all. But of course, you know, through the prayers of Azul, it's nerve-wracking. It's not easy, especially if you're young, you've never done a live MTA program as such. But, you know, through prayers, through the attention of Azul, you get through it. It's all right, alhamdulillah. But yeah, like you're saying, by doing work, by doing, you know, sacrificing yourself for the Jamaat, you're able to really hone in on a lot of your skills. You know, whether it's public speaking, anything else as well, communication, interacting with people, connecting with people. It's this huge blessings which people don't realize. Which you get, and of course, alhamdulillah, you know, I've had the chance to go on MTA. I don't deserve it at all, but I'm just saying it was a good learning experience.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and I was one of those guys who were watching you. So I was, for me, thinking of the person that I've grown up with, the person who, you know, we've been through the whole journey together. But to see you to be able to perform, I really saw that how Allah is really helping you, and whatever opportunity you do get in life, you know, it's really important to look at it and think positively, and think how okay, Allah's given me this chance. how am I going to perform? What should I do to be able to perform in the best way? And I think,
Yeah. And
I think, brother, let me finish. I think
yeah,
whenever
yeah,
the Java student, whenever they get this kind of responsibility, first thing you see them is they're waking up for Tahajjud extra early.
yeah,
They're doing namaz early. They're prostrating in namaz more. They're crying to Allah more to help them. And this is such a weird thing that all of us automatically start to think about Allah whenever some sort of responsibility falls on our shoulder.
yeah.
And I
And,
really think,
and yeah, sorry, mate. And also, you know, like you guys, Khudam, we do our day-to-day jobs, whatever, but it's really important to remember as well, even if you haven't done waqf, most people haven't done waqf, and that's completely fine as well, but at least the responsibilities which you have, or you like, even just coming on to for Khudam night, right? There's so many like other Muslims, a lot of the guys on here, they're friends. You see, they don't have this brotherhood. They don't have a form of Khudam al Ahmadiyya. They can't connect with people like this. They don't have this brotherhood. So even just going to Jamaat events or just at least appreciating what you have as an Ahmadi is huge. And even if it's, you know, you're given a task like Hamza, mashallah, did a really good presentation, you can see he put in the time for that. And that's benefited, firstly, his own knowledge, right? He's got that now. He knows that, he understands that. And obviously, he's got the blessing of telling everyone. So I think even if you're not a Murabbi, you haven't done work, that's fine, completely fine. But at least the responsibilities you get, or even the opportunities you get to go to Jamaat events, do that. And literally, you'll see for yourself, it'll bless you hugely. Even in your work life, with your other friends as well. Because Ahmadis have an edge, you know, they've got something which other people don't have.
yeah, Jazakallah Fatir. Just finishing off from the Jamia episode, would you be able to give anyone advice who's thinking about going to Jamia, who's currently training to go to Jamia, or anyone who's thinking about, you know, serving the Jamaat one day? Is there anything that you can share with us? Maybe that Hazruz told
Um,
you.
yeah, I think it's so. Before I went to Jamia, I was in college, second year college, and I went to, you know, all the missionaries I could, and I asked them for tips. I was like, "What's your number one tip for Jamia?" And obviously, this goes for anyone who wants to work with Zindagi as well. And literally all of them, maybe apart from one, but he had it as number two. But literally everyone said, everyone, no joke, everyone said that before you go to Jamia, the only thing you need to remember is have a strong, close connection with Allah. Make that your priority, even during Jamia. Because if your connection with Allah is strong, especially when, you know, in this environment where you go to work, there's promiscuity, you know, there's lack of barda, there's so many temptations all over you, right? Even, you know, going towards the worldly life, not going to namaz, watching that movie, watching the match for a bit more, all these kind of things. If we get past that, go through that wall and establish a close relationship with Allah, then everything will fall into place, especially for anyone who wants to go Jamia. Of course, you have to study, you have to work hard, you have to learn Urdu, Arabic, Quran, all these kind of things. But as long as your connection with Allah is good, and you do prep for Jamia, like, you know, you have to know basic knowledge, learn to read the Quran, learn to read Urdu a bit. These kind of things, do the preparation. I'm not saying don't do preparation, but
So
the main
there's
thing is
actually
that your connection has to be strong with Allah.
Yeah, I think that's.
And sorry. That doesn't mean that you know, it's gonna happen overnight. It's a long process. I remember once I asked this during Jamia, we asked Mayor's probably said this, but we're blessed with having mulaqats with Hazur, like every 3-4 months, a personal one-to-one mulaqat as a Jamia student. And you get to really, you know, it's a huge blessing which Hazur was given to Jamia students. It's we don't deserve it, but he granted it to us. And so, you know, over 7 years, you have about 3 mulaqats a year, every year. And you get to really, Hazur gets to really know you. And you can ask questions to Hazur privately and everything. So one question I asked Hazur at that time was, how did you get close to Allah? And Hazur said that it's all about killing your nafs, your inner self, which, you know, the self that incites. You know, whether it's not going to namaz, whether it's keeping your gaze lower, you know, not looking at that woman walking past, you know, focusing on actually reading a portion of the Holy Quran, not just focusing on earning unlimited wealth and not giving gender, these kind of things, you know, like things that stop us not practicing our faith. So Hazur said, it's all about killing your nafs. Every time, try to battle shaitan, get over that, you know, it's you have to use your mental power. And Hazur said that it's a process, it's a lifelong process. So no one, you know, results won't instantly come, they'll come slowly, but they will come, and it's a long process which we have to at least begin.
Yeah, I think Fatir, just Hazur's telling us on our convocation day that now your life is beginning. I think just that shows that the whole 7 years that we just passed, you know, that's just you to get onto this stage now of starting. So it shows that 7 years, you know, we're not going to make everything in that 7 years. We're just going to get the tools that we need to start our life as Waqf Zindagi. So lesson to everyone as well is that that connection that you make of Allah the Almighty is a lifelong lesson. But those are the things that will take you to any environment you go to. You'll survive in any environment, and you'll be able to stay close to Allah the Almighty. Teak.
You got a lot of people on here, mashallah. This is really good.
I think I think it's because of you.
No, mashallah, it's really good. It's a very good initiative you guys have started, because I don't know if other regions or, you know, areas do it, but it's really good, mashallah.
Yeah, and I think it's good. It's nice to hear as well, just an insight, because obviously everyone online they say Murabbi Saab, and they don't really know much about our journey getting to where we are now. And it's really nice that we have, mashallah, we have that respect. But it's just to show everyone as well that we're just like you as well. We were born and raised, you know, in this country. We went to the similar kind of schools, similar kind of friends. And that's why we can relate to you. We are young, but at the same time, we know what our job is, and that's the important thing. And we must all have those reminders as well, that, you know, live your life, but at the same time make that connection with Allah, keep close to Jamaat and Khilafat, and those are the things that will always help you in your life. And then you can do whatever you want. Then Allah will always be with you. But Fatir, your journey, you finished Jamia. First, how was that feeling finishing Jamia? 7 years, wow. Long journey.
Feeling. That last exam, you remember it, Mayo, right? That last exam we did, our class was just over the moon. It's a really good feeling, because Jamia doesn't just test your knowledge, it's also your patience, and also tarbiyat and everything. But it's a long process. It's not easy, but, you know, Allah helps each person and they get through it. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, finishing Jamia was a good feeling. You missed it, of course. You always miss it, but it's I think 7 years it's enough time.
It's enough time. I think a lot of people, if you ask them, I think we've asked a few people as well in our class, like, would you do those 7 years again?
Yeah.
You know, I think the general reply is, if Hazur tells us to do it, then we'll do it. But apart from that, you know, 7 years is long, but we're there. It's part of the journey, but it's the end of a chapter and the start of a new chapter. And after that, you know, we were able to go to Africa, to Pakistan, to Spain. Of course, how was that for you? Because we always hear these stories about other people going, but when you go yourself, how was Africa?
Amazing. I think we went to Africa first. That was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. Yeah, Africa was amazing. I went to Tanzania. It's East Africa. Beautiful, beautiful. There's Zanzibar there, which is an island. It's like a really, really famous holiday destination, clear blue water. But, you know, we went there, alhamdulillah. We got to go there as well. But before that, went into the villages, met with Ahmadis there. Like, they're so sick. Like, I remember we used to, every day, we was doing namaz, the local khudam. And you have to remember, these guys don't have a lot of money. They're just about studying, because they have to pay for their studies as well. You know, but their hearts are just so rich. You know, you really, coming from the West, you know, anyone, by the grace of Allah, can just go out, buy whatever, chicken and chips, say. You get £2 chicken and chips in Warsaw, I think. But you know, there they don't have even this kind of luxury. They're very hands to mouth, but the khuddam and atfal there, their hearts are so rich, they're so content with what they have. And I remember we used to go like, so I was with a Murabbi, and Murabbi Sahib, he was much senior to me. So he was taking care of me, really nice guy. And basically his house was next to the mosque. We would do namaz, we would do asr namaz, and then we would all get our running shoes on. And you know, like in the movie, you literally see, so I would go with a bunch of khuddam, some like little atfal as well, right? They would come along. I would start running in the streets, and like literally kids would join us. Like, you know, like the Rocky movie, you have that where everyone starts, Muhammad Ali, everyone starts running with him. That's literally what used to happen every day. It was so fun. And everyone in Africa, they're really, you know, positive, really nice people. Like I said, they got very rich hearts. I went to, there's a lot of muallimeen as well. And, you know, lots of khuddam won't know this, but there's muallimeen there who are basically local Africans who have done a course in studying Urdu. They know Urdu fluently. They know Arabic, they know the Quran, and they do a lot of preaching in the villages. So alhamdulillah, I got to spend time with a muallim there. I learned so much from him. His dedication, we would like sit on the back of a motorbike, go through like desert. The ground was like a desert basically. The motorbike would get stuck, get off the motorbike, then walk to like 5 Ahmadis in the middle of nowhere. And you know, he would like do their like tarbiyat class or something. Really cool, man. Really good, alhamdulillah. We used to go out and go to their farms, help them on their farms at night. Everyone, you know, sat down. The lights, there's no electricity in the villages, so you just they would have like torches. Obviously from the UK, I took like little lamps and torches and stuff. We would have food together. I really like their food. A lot of people, there's something called ugali, which is basic, like it's like dough, white dough, but I really liked it with a sullen type thing. Awesome. And I also got malaria there, which was it was a good experience. It was an experience, let's say that. But yeah, awesome, yeah. Alhamdulillah, Africa was awesome.
So you must have thought about Allah a lot in the middle of Africa having malaria.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Malaria is like one day you're totally fine. You could walk, you could run. The next day you're knocked out. It's like someone's driven a bus over you. Yeah, it was good, alhamdulillah. Africa's awesome. And then Spain was awesome. Like literally on Spain, we're just doing leafleting. A lot of khuddam would have gone, you know, Walsall town or whatever, wherever you live, and then leafleting. But we did that all across Spain. I was with Amayo as well. We did North Spain. That was a wicked. I think our class, along with Germany and Canada, Germany, we did a total of 800,000 leaflets.
Yeah, we got 900 then.
Yeah, 900 maybe. But yeah, that was good. That was good fun. Then Pakistan was good as well. You got, you know, to learn a lot about the Jamaat history in Pakistan. Yeah, those 3 trips, alhamdulillah, they're wicked. Really good memories.
Yeah. So what did we learn in Pakistan? What would you think you took from that? What was the highlight?
I think Pakistan the main thing is, which I think was really, I learned, it was the way the Jamaat operates. So Tahrik Jadid, Waqf Jadid, Sadr Anjuman, and how even in the UK we're affected by the you know, Jamaat in Pakistan, by the setup in Pakistan as well. But yeah, just basically how Rabba was built, the really progress of the Jamaat as well, which a lot of people won't really realize. But just, you know, Tahrik Jadid just went past, but just through Tahrik Jadid, we're here in the UK as well. So just a quick history lesson. But in 1934, there was a political group called the Ahrar. They wanted to wipe out the Jamaat, and it was Khalifa Sani Nazirullah anhu at the time as a Muslim mob. They're like, they said literally we'll smash Qadian down to the last brick. And they were very, very staunch against the Jamaat. Khalifa Sani said, okay, fine. Allah's told me, you know, I've got this plan. And then he revealed the plan, and he said that our Jamaat, we're gonna make a special effort to spread across all the world. They want to end us in Qadian. We're gonna end up all around the world. Then they can't do anything, and that's where Tahrir, even from to this day, that's what we give our money for the Jamaat to spread all across the world, because if the Jamaat's everywhere, they can't do anything about that.
I think upon that, I think we just lost him. Because he is joining from his car and using his hotspot, using his mobile data. Amar, we know about that.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, we have you back now.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened there.
You were on a good roll there, and you suddenly cut.
Yeah. I think that was basically a hint to stop.
Yeah, Jazakallah Fatir. We learned so much from you. Just quickly before we ended, we haven't actually talked about what you do properly yet. But just touching on Pakistan, you mentioned amazing incident about Tehreek Jadid. For me, when I went, as soon as I landed, I think straight away we were able to go to see Hazrat Masih Maud Islam's coat, and that for me, when I walked into the room, it's not a chance you get every day, But when you see it, it's like there's a special power around it, there's special awe around it, and I could see that everyone else, we suddenly, without anyone saying anything, everyone just went quiet. Everyone went completely quiet when they could see this cloak or this coat of Hazrat Masih Maud. I don't know what was happening to everyone, and I was looking around, looking like what's happening to all of us. But it was this magical. You can't even explain it. And when we were able to, get the barak from it, and that moment for me was that's when I realized I've entered a land of the Jamaat, of the Khulafa, where the history of the Jamaat is here, and that really hit me. That wow, Jamaat Ahmadiyyat has really grown and it's really spread to the corners of the world, as you mentioned. Fatir, Jazakallah for everything. Just we'll finish off on what you do. As you know, our life is where we go, and our life is defined by a piece of paper. So the time when we did get our postings, we all went into different directions. You yourself, you went into Al-Hakam and Al-Islam. So how was that feeling, firstly? Because we were actually waiting 7 years for that moment. How was that feeling for you?
It was relieving. It was good. It was, you have to be ready. You could be sent. Some of our classmates were sent. Where did Tisham go? Brazil, right? He was sent to Brazil. You could be sent anywhere. So, I mean, Al-Hakam, alhamdulillah, is a blessing. Really enjoying it as well. Still close to, Khilafat. You're still here in the UK. But anyways, you're ready for anything. It was good, alhamdulillah, enjoying it as well. But yeah, it's nerve-wracking, obviously, because you have no idea.
Yeah, I know. And that's what we're ready for. That's what we've been trained for. Wherever we go, wherever Hazur wants us to go, we'll go.
Inshallah.
But tell us a little bit about what Al-Hakam is, and encourage some Khuddam to try and read it, because I know it's online as well, and there is an app.
Yeah, definitely. Lads, just download the Al-Hakam app. It's the easiest thing. You can go on iOS or Android. Al-Hakam app. Every week, it's published online as well, alhakam.org. Just small articles. Usually, we just keep the articles really short. About sometimes it's current affairs, so Charlie Hebdo, freedom of speech. What does Islam say about freedom of speech? About the cartoons in France, the whole issue that's going on. Lots of people write, people from all across the world write. We have a history section, so 100 years ago, what happened in the Jamaat on this day 100 years ago. Then there's loads of reports. So like Hazur's doing lots of mulaqats these days with people. So like you can see up there, Hazur's meets someone and then we do a report on it. So someone asks a question, for example, recently in the Switzerland mulaqat, which is in this week's Al-Hakam as well, someone asked about World War III and whether Ahmadis will be affected by it. And Hazur said that, it's a natural thing. Even natural disasters affect good people. So obviously some Ahmadis will be affected by it as well. But of course, those people who have kept themselves close to Allah will be protected, etc. 100 years ago, reports, the missionaries, what kind of stuff were they doing in London 100 years ago? There's lots of current affairs, kind of, the big topics that's happening. And there's interesting articles. These are all in English, by the way. So here it says the secret behind a divinely commissioned one's call for help. There's stuff like how to get closer to Allah, just basically bite-sized information, which, you know, we try to give this stuff on Christianity there, atheism, quite a lot on atheism, the history of the Jamaat. And the wicked thing is, it's all in English. So, and a lot of it has been translated from Urdu as well. So you're not, you know, you could really ramp up your Jamaati knowledge as well, and knowledge on current affairs to do with Islam, you know, if it's Parda or segregation or women rights, or like I was saying, Charlie Hebdo and freedom of speech, or what Macron has been saying against Islam. So yeah, that's every week, every Friday after Jummah, it's published a bunch of articles. So definitely have a read.
That's amazing. And I know you also work a bit with Al-Islam as well. And it's a bit difficult because you manage with America because it's managed from there. But how's that with you, and how do you deal with
Yeah,
that?
it's good. It's awesome, yeah. Americans are wicked anyway, alhamdulillah. It's a good experience. We do some lives there. So Al-Islam lives on YouTube, on Twitter, Q&As and stuff. It's good, just helping out here and there. But yeah, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So I just want to ask if does anyone have any questions before we close our talk with Fatir? Anyone who has any is interested, wants to make a
I
comment.
went on for a bit, by the way.
Time flies when you're having fun, isn't it? When you're working in the
Exactly.
any questions to anyone on the call, by all means, you can just turn on your mic now. Or you can-
Who do you miss the most, Fatir, by out in the walls of Jamaat?
Nasa, why are you
Yes,
not showing
right
your face
answer.
for? All I miss is beating you in table tennis.
He's become pretty good since then, I think.
Yeah, I was joking. Nasa, I think he used to beat me every time.
Yeah, I
He's
did.
still with us. Is he left?
No, he's still there. He's still there.
I'm still in. I still meet Murabbi Saab as well. Every
That's
time.
good, mashallah. Amaya, keep tabs on Nasa. I make sure he's coming to the mosque after lockdown.
Yeah,
We'll have a-
Murabbi Saab, keep tabs on NASA, man. Keep tabs on NASA.
Hamza's the one to worry about, actually.
Murabbi Saab, watch out for him, man. Proper dodgy guy.
That's
No, man, I miss everyone Walsall. It was awesome. It was a good month.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. We're missing you as well. You're part of the history here. What was your experience here? Because when you first came, I remember that obviously there was a bit more opposition at that time. It's a bit calmed down now. What were the
Yeah.
things you were experiencing?
I remember there's like all these young Sunni guys used to rock up next to the mosque at night in the middle. I think it was Ramazan. Yeah, it was Ramazan then as well. This like once or twice they didn't really do anything, but they were like, you know, taking videos of the mosque initially. Random cars used to pull up and like drive slowly, you know, up that road next to the mosques. Is go up, you know, look at the masjid and stuff. It's a new Ahmadi masjid and stuff. It was wicked. It was, apart from that, it was fine. Alhamdulillah. It was good. I think everyone will remember as well. You know, it was exciting because there's a new mosque. Everyone used to flood it. Used to come a lot. So I don't know how much attendance you were getting before lockdown, Hamayo, but it was good. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, it was awesome. We played football, table tennis. We managed to get encourage Sadasab, I think, at the time to get table tennis. It was good. Alhamdulillah. Enjoyed it.
I was mentioning a few weeks ago to the Khudam that you mentioned about the opposition of people coming and taking pictures. There was one person who came for Jummah. He came to my front door. He actually came inside the house because he thought my house was the mosque. And then I was like, no, this is my house, mate. You got to go around the other way. So I go around the other way, and then I open the door, and he's trying to come in. He's like, I'm going to be late. That's why I told him, I was like, just chill out for a bit. Let me just ask you some questions. So I asked him, what's your name? Where have you come from? He said, I'm come from Wolverhampton. I just did some work there. Then I was like, do you have your AIMS ID? He's like, yeah. I started speaking rude to him. I was like, do you have your AIMS ID? He's like, he gets out his driving license. I was like, this guy's not Ahmadi. And I was like, Bhai, pata hum Ahmadi dog hai. Ahmadi? Acha. He literally turned around within that second, and there was a gate, and he couldn't be
Yeah.
asked. He jumped over the gate, and then he just ran his nose.
No way.
That's
He kept
mad.
looking at the nose like this. It was a funny incident. I was like, if you ever want to talk to
Yeah,
us,
you know, man, it's literally this happened to me the other day. I was at a Donovan, and don't judge me. But anyways, I was at a Donovan, and the guy goes to me. This isn't Farnham. He was like, you know, there's lots of Ahmadis here. Lots of Ahmadis. They have school here or something. And he's referring to obviously Islamabad area. I was like, yeah, brother, I'm an Ahmadi as well. He's like, you are Ahmadi as well. And I was like, yeah. And you just see his face change, kind of thing. The thing is, these Maulvis, their imams have told so much stuff against Ahmadis, like just stay away from Ahmadis, because they know we have the truth, and they know that people convert to Ahmadiyyat really quickly because they see the truth instantly. So they've just filled their minds with like hate that you can't even go to the Ahmadi mosque, you're instantly a kafir, you can't even befriend them, and these kind of things. So your guy jumped over the fence.
jumped over the fence and never came back. May Allah give him some guidance as well. Inshallah. We hope to see him
Yeah,
again.
I mean, there's a lot of people who are looking as well. So even for the Khuddam, you know, you guys all should be looking out to do tabligh. Don't think you can't do tabligh, right? You don't have to be a scholar to do tabligh. Just the basics, you know, slowly, and through prayers. Every opportunity you get, try to do tabligh.
Yeah, definitely. Fatir, Jazakallah so much for your time. I just wanted to quickly.
I enjoyed it.
I just wanted to finish off on a quick video of Huzur with the Indonesia Jamia, because someone asked a really good question about it. So we're just going to finish off on that. Then everyone is free to leave. We still have a few more things we're doing on Khuddam. Like we still have the quiz to do. So of course, after this, you're free to leave. And but let's just listen to this because I think it will benefit a lot of people. So we'll do this, and then Fatir, you're free to also go. You can stay on for the rest. So
I need to get driving as well.
Okay, that's fine. So do you want to say Assalamu alaikum now, or do you want to wait till after the video?
Yeah, I think I will. Jazakallah, everyone. It was really fun joining on, inshallah. I hope to see everyone soon. But you know, the request for prayers from everyone, and you know, we should also always keep Huzur in our prayers as well whenever we're doing dua. But until next time, Jazakallah. Thanks, Mayor, for having me.
Jazakallah, Fatir. Appreciate it. Inshallah, we'll see you again. Maybe we'll invite. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah. Allah Hafiz.